Alright, we are here today at Chris James Cellars in Yamhill, Carlton, located just off Old Wagon Road. Just a little history about our winery here. It was started 10 years ago by the lovely Chris and Beth Barnes. They are owners and husband and wife. They bought this land in 2011. It used to be a timber farm, so they had to clear out a lot of old stumps. They started planting their vines in 2013. And then this tasting room opened in 2015. We also recently opened a tasting room on 3rd Street in McMinnville. That's closer to you guys. Feel free to visit us there. Beth and Chris have engineering backgrounds. They worked a lot of years doing engineering things, but Chris has always had a passion for wine. His grandfather was from northern Italy, and his grandfather used to make wine there, so that kind of sparked his passion for wine, and why he likes to incorporate some Italian varietals here in the tasting room. We have a ton of different varietals for you guys to choose from. Lots of German whites, Italian reds, and of course Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Rosé, all the things. Ton of variety. People looking for big bold reds can come out here. We are a part of Hip Camp and Harvest Host. So we allow people to come and rent space at our vineyard and camp, which is really awesome. They can come in and do a tasting. All of our tastings are $15, which that fee will be waived if you buy 2 bottles. We also have little small bites and things for you to enjoy. Most of our seating is out on our lovely patio, so great for looking at our view. We're up here in the mountain at about 600 feet elevation. There's lots of beautiful views, and you're surrounded by vines and nature. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of Northern Italian varietals we make. Dolcettos, Barberas, Lagranges, Zinfandel, Syrah. We have a lot of different Pinots. We have some richer, bolder ones. We also have some really light, delicate ones. We have a different Chardonnays. We do Burgundian style here, old world style, so not buttery or oaky, nice and light. We do have lots of German whites. We're on the German wine tour in this area, as well as the Big Bold Reds tour. So if you guys are in any of those, definitely come check us out, and we'll give you a little stamp on your card. We also do some Spanish varietals, Argentinian varietals, Malbec, Albarino. We have a couple different rosés, including some sparklings. We just released our Prost, which is a dry sparkling white wine. So whatever strikes your fancy, we will have something for you here. I would say our most popular wines would include our Big Bold Reds. There is kind of a shortage in this area of them, so people who really appreciate those will come out because they'll see our wine list and say, hey, these guys have some bigger, bolder reds, let's go try them. They're really nice and smooth and bold and delicious. People also really like our whites. They're super crisp, they have nice acidity. Just a touch of sweetness. So whatever end of the spectrum you're on, we will have something for you there.
Well, after a pleasant walk through the vineyards during the afternoon, I went in to the wine tasting room and had one more glass of wine as a nightcap before the girls and I called it a night. Well, it's a beautiful start of another day of wine touring. We're still up here in the mountains at the Old Wagon Road Vineyard, and I do mean mountains, as you can see. The fog is lifting out of the valleys. The electronic bird calls have already started, and I think I'm expecting George of the Jungle to come swinging out of these trees here pretty soon, because those bird calls to me sound like something out of the jungle, like Tookie Tookie. But the weather looks a whole lot nicer. We had a little heavy rain again last night, but today it's supposed to stop. It's supposed to be sunny, warm, mid-70s, working its way up to 80. And I think it just gets better the farther south I go, which is great. I'll say one thing, Google has you stopping way down below this, where it says you've arrived, but if you follow the signs and ignore Google, you'll come up the hill through the electronic gates, and you'll actually arrive at the winery. Luckily, the tuki-tuki electronic bird calls stop a little after dusk. So how are you girls doing this morning, huh? Waiting for breakfast, I bet. Yeah, you heard that word. Where are you at, Kate? Sarah. Sarah says she's just going to nap until breakfast. Okay, well, I'm going to finish my coffee, and then you guys can have your breakfast, okay? Does that feel good? Yeah? Yeah? You just waiting, aren't you, Kate? Patient. You're both very patient dogs. Okay, well, let me finish my coffee, and you guys get your breakfast. Yeah, breakfast. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Well, after breakfast, I'm going to walk up and over that hill there, up to the tree line, and just over the ridge, and give you guys a bird's eye view of the winery as it slopes down along that side of the mountain. It's quite a place here. As you saw in the aerial photo, this place is huge. It's like on top of a mountain, pretty much, as the mountains go around here. So we'll be doing that just before we take off to our next winery, Kristen Hill Vineyards. So hard to believe that's only number 4 winery out of 14. We've got 10 more to go after today, and it's great. These are all very close to each other, and we just have a lazy breakfast, walk around the vineyards we're at before we leave again, and head on to the next one. So this is a great way to plan a vacation. No stress, no rush. You're out here in the beautiful country, having wine, listening to electronic birds. It's great. You never know where you're going to end up on a wine touring drive. So we're going to have breakfast now and then go for our walk. I'm going to walk up this hill here to the top where I can look down and see a large area of the winery here going down the slopes of the other side of the mountain. So we just hike up this a ways till we get to the top. When I was telling you we're up in the mountains in this winery, here's the proof. You can see this vineyard is just laden with juicy grapes, just waiting for harvest. There are just hundreds and hundreds of bunches of them down every row of the vineyard. Down there, if you can see, that's the tasting room, and that's where we parked for the night. And soon we'll be finding our way out of the mountains, heading south to our next winery tour.
When I had arrived back at the wine tasting building, a worker had arrived and was preparing equipment for the next harvest scheduled day. I was able to poke my head in and see the keg room and their processing area for their mountain winery. With that, it was time for the girls and I to load up and take off to our next Oregon winery. The tour continues, so stay tuned and watch for more.